Hi, I don't think we have video, unfortunately, but it's Crystal and her mama.
It's just going to be you all. A lot of my regular folk are not joining this evening, so can you hear me okay? See me okay? Everything's good. If it's not, just you can't hear me? No. Neat. Can you hear me now? No? Dang. Oh, you can hear me. Okay. Joan, I think that's on your end. No worries about the video. No, still nothing, Joan? Technology is hilarious. It has been extra hilarious for me all day. So, bummer. You usually can hear me. Is it? I don't know. Is it Mercury retrograde? Probably. It's always fucking doing that. Sure. Hi, Jesse. Where in the world is he? I thought I saw him on Salt Spring the other day, but it wasn't him. Oh, got it. You're back in Airdrie? Have you been there for a while? Oh, cool. Hi, Wayne. Oh, yeah, we're in BC. Nice. I think I'm on my way there. Well, I'm here now. But I think I'm out of Calgary within the next year. Yeah, it's an exhausting place. It's going to take you longer than a year to leave. Oh, I mean, it'll probably take me about a year to get out of there. I have a practice and a boyfriend and a home and all that stuff. Hmm. Yeah. I've kind of just run away from it all. It's been pretty great. It's going to be hard to go back. Yeah, I am. I've been out here for 2 weeks. 2 and a bit weeks. I was on Vancouver Island for a bit with some friends. Yeah, I've scored this pretty amazing place, and yeah, just kind of needed some time after that, all that stuff with my dad. Oh, connecting the audio. That seems like a good sign. Can you hear me now? No. Darn. Funny. Yeah, I don't know much of the Sunshine Coast. I have some people that live out there too. Um, yeah. Yeah, thanks. It's sort of forced upon me. I wouldn't have even been able to work if I tried. I would have not been doing well by my people. It's so funny. They come to this class every day or every week and it doesn't do that. Oh, wow, that's a long time to be away doing that. Sorry, just hold on. I'm just going to try to message them. Yeah, we do. Hi. So I have two thoughts. One is that I could just leave my phone on speaker. Then you could walk, like I could, like if we both put our phones on. Oh, can you hear me now? Oh. Well, I'll just leave my phone on speaker and your phone can be on speaker. Or sorry, you leave your phone on speaker and then I'm gonna put my phone down.
Okay.
And if you're watching me and I'm standing here, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'll just leave you on speaker and then just in case something happens, you can just let me know. Okay. The only other thing I would say is maybe try to disconnect and then connect back on again.
Right. We're just going to try it on but you go ahead and start. We'll play around here. We're trying it now on the
okay.
laptop.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave my phone on and yeah, I will start. And then if you get it on the laptop, just hang up the phone because it'll automatically hang it up, okay?
Okay, great. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Maybe it'll work.
It's a weird day for technology. I've been having funny stuff all day, so probably the full moon. Okay. Great. Strange that our video won't work and their sound won't work. Yeah, cool. Yeah, and then like I said, I don't think anyone else is coming, so we can kind of just go with the flow and cater it to this day. Yeah, so I don't know if you read the thing on Facebook that I put, but today we're going to kind of be focusing on the gut and the face and the relationship that happens with the gut and the face, kind of from like a body work, craniosacral, probably some other healing modalities perspective, how our guts are our faces, and lots of different parts of the face can kind of manifest from different places of the guts. The eyes are kind of the liver, the sort of stomach, small intestine around here. I think colon zone kind of around the chin. Anyway, to a less specific degree, it's if you can kind of get your guts to settle and be healthy, then that really starts to show in your face. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's something called the Shen. So it's sort of this like the sparkle of your spirit. And that really comes from the health of your gut. And my guts suck sometimes, so I've really been trying to help that. Yeah, I just have had a lot of things happen in my life around my guts, and from a nervous system perspective, stress always goes there. So I'm just been a little imbalanced in the last number of months, so I've been really focusing on that. And I've been getting some treatments from a lovely woman here, Kat. I think you know her, Crystal, from the center. But yeah, she's been working on my belly and just kind of reminding me about contact in different parts of the belly. And anyway, so I thought it could be cool to do a little bit of self massage tonight. Yeah, so you'll need, I don't know if you got that little update, but you'll need a couple props. So something to put your feet and your head on, a little bit of oil, maybe a towel and a hot pack if you have it, but you don't need that. And what else did I want to say around it? Yeah, the gut can also be really, there can be a lot of health and resiliency in this place. So I just want to kind of remind us of that gut instinct, that gut intelligence. And you know, as we're doing this exploration tonight, don't necessarily be looking for the things that aren't working. Maybe start going with the concept of looking of things that are working or feeling great and feeling more into that. But I'll kind of cue that a bit. Yeah, Crystal and Crystal's mom. I don't know your name. You guys have never done this class with me before, so typically we start with just a bit of gentle warm-ups, kind of joint rolling, spine rolling. I'm going to do some more specific warm-ups kind of for this area, and then we'll get into kind of a bit of a flowy sort of thing. And then I'll take us down for the massage bit. I really encourage people to not worry so much about what this looks like, or if you think you look like me, or if you think you look like how you're supposed to be doing it. Really kind of try to drop into how it feels and use my words as a guide. But yeah, there's no perfection here. And it's really more about coming into a felt sense of your body and what your body needs. And one of my Qigong teachers, he's like, butcher the form, man. If it doesn't fit right for your body, butcher it. Nothing should hurt. Nothing should be, you know, like a deep painful. Sometimes things can get achy or uncomfortable as tissues start to change, or, you know, even just standing with your body for a long period of time can be a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, no pain. Definitely no pain. Okay, so can you see me okay? Great, I'm all lit up. Okay. So yeah, let's just land. So just finding a nice comfortable stance so your feet are kind of shoulder width apart. I like to just sort of lean back and forth until you find that sort of even part of your feet from the front to the back and side to side. There's this place on the sole of the feet that it's called bubbling springs. And when you kind of find the balance on it, you can really feel this rooted, grounded connectedness. So see if you can just kind of gently find that spot. Again, don't overthink it too much. Just go into the sensation of your feet and really let them land onto the earth, and let your toes spread. Let your ankles soften and your knees become buoyant. Gently kind of tuck the sacrum, tuck the tailbone, and feel like this lengthening is coming up through the spine, coming out through the crown of the head, and like someone's just gently pulling you up. There's almost like a magnet on each side of you, one going up into the sky and one going down into the earth. And then let's gently roll our shoulders up and back. You can kind of tuck the chin just a little bit, lengthening up through the cervical spine. And then let's just close our eyes and really land in our structure. See if you can feel the outside layer of your skin. So the wrapping of you. Is there any kind of three-dimensional aspect? Can you feel the space that you take up? And then keeping our eyes closed, let's start to take some deeper breaths. Really feel like you're sending your inhale into your skin. Notice as you inhale, there's this rising and expanding in the body. As you exhale, there's kind of this falling and contracting. So the inhalations kind of puff us and fill us, and then the exhalations soften and contract. Let's keep breathing and keep our eyes closed and bring one hand above the belly button and one hand below. Just holding on to our abdomen, our diaphragm above the belly button. Low energy dantian center. Just feel like you really start to send some breath into this area, inviting the belly to be soft. Clench your jaw and your face, let your shoulders be backing down. Sending a few more deep breaths into the belly. And then let's take the top hand and just start to gently rub around the belly button, quite close to the belly button. Almost like you're right over it, for that navel center. And you can do this motion a little bit quickly. Help to release in the something called the wind gates. So helping to move any wind that might be stuck in the guts. And then let's put the other hand over top and let's start to expand the circle. So just wide of the belly button, just make the full width of the abdomen, I guess. And we can put a little bit of pressure here with one hand pushing into the other hand, pushing into the belly. We can expand it even bigger now. So we're getting into the fullness of the abdomen. And then let's just wipe down on the right side. So wiping down the liver. Let's come to the center right under the sternum, just wiping down the stomach. And then come to the left, the spleen. Pancreas is kind of behind all of that. And then let's rub down something called the triple warmer. So just coming down from the throat, right down the center line. Sweeping down a couple times. And then let's just do a bit of general sweeping. So get into the arms and the hands, down the sides of the flanks. Just wherever you kind of feel. Making our way down the legs, fronts, backs, and sides of the legs, down the feet. And then let's tap the legs. Kind of like an open cupped hand, just gently smirking. Stimulating the skin, the fascia, around the part of the pelvis, the hips, the glutes. That booty. Come up the back. You can use the backs of the hands or the sides of the hands across the kidney area. Just go around from right to left. Start to circle around the belly. And let's make little fists and really gently tapping above the navel, kind of going from the bottom of the sternum to the upper part of the belly button. Your solar plexus, it's a place of power. It can be a very sensitive area, so definitely tune in to have that feeling for you today. And then let's come to the lower part of the belly, down here in the lower energy center, a little bit forward from the spine, deep in the lower belly. Stimulating that point. Qigong and traditional Chinese medicine, it's kind of the big deal. It's kind of where all of our source of energy is stored. Let's just shake all that out a little bit. And just close your eyes. And just let your body bounce, let your arms and your hands be really heavy. Let your jaw and your face soften. So you can kind of shake into your face. Lean forward onto the balls of the feet and shake the whole front line of the body. Lean back into the heels and shake the back line of the body. You can feel like you're doing that from head to heels. Go all back fascial lines. Back center, and we're going to lean over to the right side. Really let the whole side of the body go. Let's go to the other side. The left side of the body go. Like you're kind of shaking off the spine. Let's come back center. And see if you can really tune into that craniosacral axis. So the tip of the tailbone to the top of the head. Sort of deep core line that is the spine. You can bounce deep into the central part of the nervous system. And then let's slowly start to let that go. Give the legs and the knees a little bit of a shimmy if you like. So I find that's great for the knee joints. Kick the legs out. And then let's just do a couple ankle rolls. So one direction and then the other. Hold onto the wall or put your hands out for support. Just gently start to open up into the joints. Switch legs. Okay, and then bring the knees together, put the palms of the hands on the knees, really feeling deep into the center of the joint. And start to rotate, circle in one direction. Really check in with how your knees feel today and see if you can get a sense through your hands, not just the internal sensation of the legs, but can you feel anything in the hands of how your knees are doing today? Maybe not, that's cool. Let's go in the other direction. When I got that treatment the other day from Kat, I was talking about my knees and how they don't usually bother me. And she was sort of saying in her healing work as well that knees and guts can be quite connected in terms of meridians. And when things are happening in the guts, it can affect the joints. And when you poop, rub the back of your knees. Well, that's funny. Anyway, let's let that go. Do a little shake out. Just gonna put the hands on the hips. Some quick hip rotations. Feeling like you're sending your pelvis forward to the side and back. Or cracking and popping. It's good to get the joints moving even just a little bit every day. Go the other direction, especially if there's lots of sitting. Or if you're really quite physically active, these sort of fluid or rolling motions hydrate the joints and allow affected tissue to ease off. Let's go in the other direction one more time, but let's put one hand on the sacrum, the back of the hand on the sacrum, and the other hand on the front of the pelvis. And just notice how that can change the internal feeling of these rotating motions. I really notice it into kind of the deeper fascia, even more into the pelvic floor. We're going to switch the hands, bring our feet together, and we're going to do circles, but we're going to do them smaller now. The feet together kind of contracts the ability to make the circles. And again, that gets down into those deeper fascial lines. The hips and the pelvis hold a lot of story and digested life experiences. Roll that shit out. I don't want it in there anymore. All right, let's let that go and come up the body, get into the spinal joints. So let's start just doing this gentle twist. The hands are very loose, the limbs are very loose. You want to keep your feet quite anchored and your knees facing forward as best you can without being rigid. Just start to make the circles or the twists a little bit smaller. Don't go to your full expression right away. And just start to check in with how your spine is tonight. Bringing your attention from your sacrum up that first inner curve of the low back. So the wider upper curve of the mid and upper back, the thoracic spine. Into the indentation of the cervical spine and neck. Into the base of the cranium. Some things to note are maybe where it feels hydrated or mobile. Something that maybe feels a little bit sticky or harder to rotate. And sometimes there's also numbness, not even being able to get a sense of those different parts of your spine. All is fine, just notice how it is, and just keep twisting. Bring some more hydration and mobility. So let's keep with the twisting, but we're just going to gently bring the hands up a little bit, so we're knocking on the belly and the low back, kind of behind the navel. This part behind the navel is called the wingman, or the door of life. It's another one of those sort of big energy centers. Mirrors the lower dantian mostly. Stimulates the kidneys. We've been doing this for a little bit. We bring our hands up higher on the back. See if you can start to just gently twist your head over, shoulders a bit more. Looking behind you if it's okay for your neck. And bringing a bit of a deeper twist into the spine. Only if it feels okay for your body to do that. And then let's tap into the chest with the front hand. The back hand is staying at the low back, mid back zone. Tapping on the chest, taps into the lung one. Stimulating the immune system. And the lungs are how we interact, one of the ways we interact with the space around us. By taking energy in, belly. Yep. And then we'll take the hand and just a couple times gently tap the neck and the shoulders. Tapping out any tension. You know, the world these days can be quite heavy on these shoulders. Let's just knock some of that off. Okay, and then let the hands come back down to the weights, the sacrum. And we're just going to spin on the heels. So opening the hips, the heels are we're gonna press down into the heels with the toes facing up. This one's great for the hips, the hip flexors, and getting up into the sides of the flanks. Slow it down. And then again, let's close our eyes and settle into the feet. Feel into the spine. Just come into that stillness, standing posture again. Notice how your energy, your chi feels now. You feeling this sort of tingling or aliveness, some ease, maybe even more of like a whole connectedness from head to toe. Okay, I'm probably going to go a little longer tonight, so just gonna vocalize that now. I'm just going to keep going. If you need to leave right at 6:30, just off you go, but I'm just going to keep doing it for the sake of the recording. Okay, so let's get into some of these movements that I was talking about for the viscera, so the organs of the gut. So stomach is kind of center off a little bit to the left, not much. But we're going to bring our hand in a ball, kind of like we're holding the stomach. We're going to go into this circular kind of churning motion. And this is essentially mimicking the movement of how the stomach churns the chyme, the broken down food. And again, see if you can just drop into the sensation of your stomach, feeling into this upper quadrant of your belly. Maybe closing your eyes again. Feeling the deep sea of the guts is not always necessarily easy, or being able to differentiate different organs can take some practice. So if you don't feel anything exactly, keep practicing these and it will come. So let's just really drop in for a few minutes. You might notice some sensation rising up through the esophagus and the throat. You might notice some sort of downward action. Check in, do you feel full? Do you feel hungry? Feel quite neutral. Let's roll the stomach a few more times. And you know, if you can't get a full sense of the organ itself, maybe just see if you can offer a little bit more softening into this area. So if you can let your stomach have a bit more space, this upper quadrant of your belly, ease and not be pulled in so much. And Let's just pause for a moment with the hands facing the stomach, where the palms and the focus goes, the chi flows. Let's just send a little bit of that potency to the belly. Some gurgling might be happening, some movement might be occurring. Maybe not. Depends how your belly is today. And we're going to shift over to the right side, under the right side of the rib cage. The liver is this sort of massive thing. It's like the size of a football. So we're going to kind of just scoop our hands and feel like we kind of place our liver in our hands. And then we're just going to gently start to shake. And again, if you can't feel exactly what your liver feels like, just think about coming into a bit more of a felt sense awareness of this right quadrant. And see again if you can invite some of that ease and softness. Some pretty huge ligaments that are involved in the holding up of the liver. It can get quite tight. And, if you practice this stuff enough, you really can start to feel the falciform ligament, the connective tissue, and the liver itself start to get more space and stuff. Okay, and then we're gonna keep with this feeling of holding the liver, but we're gonna kind of lean forward and just gently bounce the liver. And this is just kind of a different way. Bounce a lot of things in our body with this practice. We've done the spine, we've done superficial fascia, and the nervous system. You can basically shake anything in the body. That's great. Okay, and you can kind of lean back and we'll just start to go into this sort of sweeping motion. So you bring your palms together and squeeze into the liver and then lean to the right and kind of throw it away. So you can go to a little bit more behind, a little more to the front. The liver actually, the front lobe does come quite close to the stomach under the sternum. Maybe just kind of move around this part of your abdomen and see if you notice a specific place that can use a little more clearing. If you're standing beside someone, make sure you're pointing at the ground. You're not throwing your liver goo at someone you love. Okay, cool. And then we're going to move into this sweeping. So as the palms go away from the body, they're going to face out. And then as you circle around, you're going to point them towards the liver. It's kind of like you're bringing in chi, moving out stagnation. Bringing in chi, moving out stagnation. If you like to work with visualization, you can inhale clear green light and exhale black sludgy smoke. Inhaling healthy liver chi, exhaling any stagnation. Probably starting to feel at least something in that part of the body. You might not necessarily know what it is, but there's something happening. Let's just do a couple more rotations. And we're going to do this sort of picking and throwing thing. So again, kind of moving around the liver, clearing out any last stuffs. Feel like your fingers are reaching deep into your abdomen. Feeling all the sticky bits. Let's just gently sweep it again. Sweep across the stomach, sweep across the spleen. And let's come to the small intestines now. So one palm facing up, one palm facing down. We're going to go into this kind of sweeping action. And again, we're just going to kind of follow around the sort of area of the small intestine or the guts. So kind of in this area here. You can have your sweeping be quite tight. They can be quite big. Again, don't worry so much about what it looks like. Maybe you can close your eyes. Sometimes watching me can be distracting. And just start to sweep around the gut. 9 yards of small intestine wrapped up in here. A lot of space to process a lot of things. And our guts are actually organized in the same way as our brains. So by getting stuff moving in the gut tract can create a lot of clarity in the brain. Sometimes a lot of that brain fog and disconnect can be manifesting from the gut, not the head. Okay, and so we're going to do the same kind of idea, but we're going to go into this kind of motion. So feeling like we're dipping the fingertips into the small intestine. Again, you can do it quick and closer. You can do it kind of bigger and wider. But feel like you're really energetically getting right into the guts and helping all of that move around. Scooping and sweeping, scooping and sweeping. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to start to go into this sort of up and down motion. So across the body. Back and forth around. A side benefit to these is it's also really good for your fingers and your wrists. So if you can kind of find some fluidity in the way that your hands and your wrists and your fingers are approaching your guts. It's all about helping everything get fluidized and soft and spacious. Maybe you find one place that have some sensation and kind of hang out there a little bit. You can get quite specific with this. Again, there's no right or wrong. And then we're going to do this pulling thing again, kind of doing it all around the small intestine, so close to the belly button. Down to the lower part of the abdomen. Our small intestine come down quite a lot farther than I ever did before I started anatomy. Okay, and then let's do a couple circles and just some sweeping. Clear all that out. And now we're gonna come into the large intestine. So come from your belly button over to the right, between your belly button and your hip. It's kind of where your small intestine meets your large intestine. So we're gonna start to make this circling motion, coming around, going up the right side, kind of like you're following the ascending colon. When you get to the upper right quadrant, we're gonna do this scooping, following the transverse colon, so going from right to left. And when you get to the left, we're going to come down, following the descending colon. And sigmoid colon at the rectum, we're going to kind of do this little sweeping action. let's do that again now you kind of got it. So we're gonna just feel like we're wrapping around the colon, coming up the right side. Get to this upper right quadrant, and we're going to sweep across the transverse. Just really encouraging that peristaltic movement. And come back down, circling down the left. Sweeping down. And let's just do a couple circles. Normally I would do that more, but for the sake of time, keep going. And we can do this pulling again, kind of going up the outside, across the top and down the left. Just clearing any stagnation out of the large intestine. And let's just do a couple more of these. Let the circles slow down. And then we're going to make this kind of diamond shape around the umbilicus, the navel, the belly button. And just let your hands gently settle on your belly. Close your eyes. Let your belly really soften. And let your hands connect to the health that is in your guts, in your organs. And just be curious of what that statement means to you. How do you feel health in your belly? Do you have a sense of your belly at all? Are there places that stand out more than others? This isn't one of those things that you just get in one half an hour class. It's a long journey exploring the story of your guts. But organs love attention. Organs love spiraling and clearing. And they really love when you give them a bit of acknowledgement for the health and the function. So they work really hard all day, most of the night. Yeah, cool. Okay. Well, I think we'll come down now. Oh yeah, 6:19. So yeah, we're gonna come down. I'm gonna just shift the computer a little bit, but just get yourself comfy. You don't necessarily need to have the camera on you if you don't want, as long as you can see me. And again, another part of it is I'd really love to encourage you to not watch so much what I'm doing, but just kind of try to listen to my words and just feel into the exploration of your belly. It's not a big technique thing. It's just really about kind of making this contact. So yeah, you'll need a little bit of oil. If you have a towel, maybe. Just so that you don't get it on your clothes. I think that should be okay. Is that okay for everybody? Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put a little bolster under my knees. A little cushion for under my head. I forgot my oil, but that's okay, I can do it without it. So we're gonna just expose our bellies. And I wanna get a good amount of it out. And again, let's just put our hands there. I'm just gonna grab this. Once we land on our backs, let's just cup our bellies again with the palms of our hands. And just acknowledge that this can be quite a sensitive area for a lot of different reasons. Having our bellies exposed can be a big deal. So
just acknowledging that with kindness. Our society is pretty crap at teaching acceptance of our bodies in general, but I really feel like bellies especially get a bad rap. And this whole six-pack flat stomach thing that has caused so many people so much trauma is not only mostly unrealistic for a lot of folks, it's actually not even really that healthy for most body types. So see if you can send a couple big deep belly breaths. Let that beautiful Buddha belly be nice and round. I often apologize to my belly for being so hard on it. It's what I've put in her and how I've treated her and things I've said to her. So that might not be your story, but if it is, I just encourage a little bit of that. And again, just saying thank you. Thank you for dealing with all of the things. How we process things via the liver, how we digest things via the stomach and the gut tube. It's not just about what we ingest with our mouth, it's also about what we ingest with our thoughts and our words and nature around us and the people that we surround ourselves with. And also things that aren't ours to control, and maybe things that we haven't invited in. So all of that process of digestion, however it's been experienced in life, does to some degree get processed by the gut. So thanks for doing all that, digesting life experiences. And for all the ones that haven't been digested, for some space for them to have the capacity to move through. Okay, so you can get your oil, and if you don't want to use oil, you can probably do it without it. Just feels a little bit nicer on the skin. You don't need much, just put a little dribble kind of around the belly button, around your abdomen, and just start to, just with your fingertips, just gently start to kind of smear it around. Make sure you don't get it on the clothes. And just, kind of go from side to side and up and down until you get the oil on, and then you feel good and greased up. Let's again just start to make those circles around the belly button. Go up the right side, down the left. And really start to get a bit of a vigorous circle happening. You're starting to warm this area up. Kind of rub up and down. Bigger into the circles. And then again, let's go a bit wider, so just around the belly button now. And wider still, going all the way up the right, across the center and down the left. So we're just warming up this whole area. You can put the other hand on top of that hand. Gently start to apply a bit more pressure. Again, everything I say, especially with this, if it involves lighter pressure or harder pressure, and that's not what's feeling right for your body, please listen to that. I say go deeper, and deeper isn't what your system is wanting. You really need to trust that, because my belly is different than your belly is different than everyone else's bellies. Okay, so then let's come up to right under the sternum. And we're just going to gently find the sternum, so the bottom of the rib cage. And from there, where there's that little notch, where it starts to go from cartilage, sort of bony stuff, more into that like organ tissue-y feeling, We're just gently going to stroke down from the sternum, this long kind of evenly, decently pressured fingertips down to the belly button. So going right in the center, and we'll feel into the world of the stomach. And then just start to feel around a little bit from left to right, staying quite central, but the stomach is really invested in the diaphragm. The diaphragm is really invested in the visceral organs, and sometimes it can get caught up, especially around this sort of rib cage attachment zone. So we're just gently pressing into the tissues to help bring the organs down a little bit. And again, just close your eyes, feel into how this feels for you. If you want to put a little more pressure, a little lighter, maybe there's a spot that you find and you stop massaging, you just kind of gently press into. If it feels somewhere that's a little bit of tension or somewhere that feels like it maybe wants to make a gurgle but can't. It's helping to get some of that tissue to unwind. Might notice some places pulsing. Sometimes that can be a great place to just hang out. Or if you're just happy to keep doing the strokes, that's great too. If any wind or gas starts to move, I really encourage you to let it out, especially because we're on Zoom. I mean, I guess Crystal, you and your mom will have to endure, but your family, so it's fine. So then we're going to come down from the stomach, down a little bit more towards the left. Just pressing down towards the left side of the belly button. There's a bunch of valves, there's valves that go from the stomach into the small intestine. And so there's an esophageal valve too that goes down into the stomach. There's a few different valves, but we want everything to be going kind of in this downward right direction. So pressing from the left of the stomach down, we can kind of come around the top of the belly button, sort of sweeping to the left and then across. The contents of the stomach start going to the small intestine. Probably noticing a bit of something here. If you notice the direction that the organs are moving, or if you have contents in the belly, you're noticing that. Let's just sort of come back and forth, going from top to bottom, stimulating that back and forth passage track of the small intestine. Again, if you find that place that feels a little bit harder or a little bit pulsy, sticky, maybe a little bit painful, it feels okay to just kind of press into that area. Breathe into it. You might start to notice some unwinding, releasing. Another little sort of sweep around. You can spend quite a lot of time on this. Obviously not going to spend that much time tonight, but I've spent over an hour just sort of working around and finding these places to uncouple and unwind in my belly. So it's worth an exploration. But But now let's start to make our way over to the right side of the abdomen. So a little bit down and to the right from the belly button and kind of up from the hip and to the left, sort of this diagonal plane from the hip to the belly button. And sort of in the center of that is where our ileocecal valve is. Sort of the ilia and the cecum, the small intestine and the large intestine meet. And again, there's another valve here that's supposed to be a one-way directional valve. So you can start sweeping down and to the right from the belly button, kind of towards the hip, but not all the way. A decent amount of pressure here, if that feels okay. And go slow and close your eyes. Just see if you can notice where there's a feeling of something that kind of starts to change. Be sort of this feeling of an internal directional shift, maybe a size shape, maybe just a general change in tonicity. You can actually really feel these valves. It's possible. But if you can't, this action is still helping to go in that direction. Let's do this a couple more times. And if you do find that area where something feels like it changes, or again, a place that maybe just feels like you want to put a little bit of pressure and just hold, just feel free to do that now. Couple more sweeps if you've been holding that spot. And again, later when you do this in your own time, you can spend a lot more time holding and hanging out. Yeah, and then let's start to come up from that place. So coming up from where that valve would be, or that sort of central point, coming up kind of wider on the right side of the abdomen, coming up just below the rib cage. So you're kind of scooping your fingers, getting the fingertips into this part, coming up along the large intestine. Sort of like those motions that we were doing in the qigong, but this is more of a massage technique. Again, maybe slow it down and see where somewhere might need a little bit more attention. And then we're going to come up kind of right under the rib cage, under the liver. There's a flexure here, so it's part of where the large intestine's held up, so that it's not just falling around your belly. From there, we're going to come across, so where it turns into the transverse colon, so going from right to left. Just going across, kind of below the stomach, above the belly button kind of zone. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just getting your fingertips going from right to left. And then come to the left upper quadrant under the rib cage. There's another flexure there. Feel it or feel the tissue change. And then coming down the left side, coming all the way down the left side, out wide, front of the hip, all the way down to kind of the pubic bone, following down the descending into the sigmoid colon. Often this can be a place to find those, or feel into those places that have more sensation or feel a little bit more caught up. So again, kind of take it slow. And if you do find that place, just give it a little pressure. See if you notice things starting to unwind and let go. Don't forget to breathe. Don't crunch up your face and your jaw. See if you can feel your heels on the floor, your hips on the floor, your spine and your shoulders. You can get quite invested in feeling into the belly. So just open up to the whole of your body and where it's contacting the surface. Gently start to roll down again, just pressing from top to bottom. And then let's just turn that again into this sort of bigger circle. So big open palm, open fingered hands, just coming up the right side, down the left. Just use one hand if you like. Sometimes I find you can feel more into the specificity that way. Really just everything going in that nice direction, smoothing it out. Lots of love, lots of gratitude down into these strong, beautiful, healthy, intelligent organs. That literally process a lot of shit for us. Cool. Okay, and then you can kind of just scrub around a little bit, or you can do a bit of tapping on it if that feels nice, or you can just hold it again for another moment. And if you have a little towel or your heat pad or hot pack, you can just gently put that over your belly. Doesn't have to be. The benefits will still be there, but I do find it is kind of a nice way just to get some heat there. And then for the last couple minutes, let's just do a little exploration of our face. So we're gonna just rub our hands together, rub the palms together, get them nice and warm. And first, we're gonna cup our palms over our eyes. Just let the eyes be heavy in the sockets. Just warming up the forehead, and the face, cheekbones under your palms. Feel like you're drinking chi from the palm of your hands into your eyes, into your brain. And let's do that again one more time. And then we're going to open the palms and open the fingers wide and cup the face. So the cheek, the jaw, maybe the pinky kind of comes across the nose, however your face lands in your hands. And again, just drink up that chi from your palms. Your face hang down, let your fingertips be soft, not squeezing in. Relax the jaw, into a couple really deep breaths into your beautiful face. We'll just do some general kind of circles up the center line, up the side, up and across the forehead, cheek and jaw. These kind of big circles. Do some general tapping, so playing a quick piano across the forehead, around your eyes, and down cheeks and jaw, into the side of the neck if you like. Let's do some rhythmical tapping. So just up and down, all the fingertips and the thumb, just roll that around the face. And see if you feel into a place that bit more sensation to it, a bit more tension. Tap through a little longer. Jaw muscles are usually a good spot. Meaty bit just below the eyes and the cheekbones. Center of the forehead. Even come around the scalp, come around the head, temples. And just do some sweeping using the backs of your nails coming from your forehead up and back, scratching through your scalp, just lifting everything up and back. And whatever finger feels most comfortable. We're going to start at the bridge of the nose and press up, come out and around the eyebrows, sort of an umbrella, lifting the eyelids. Moving up and down and around. More times. We're going to come from the bridge of the nose and sweep under the eyes. So coming under the eyes and out. Lifting. Don't get too close. Stay more fairly on the cheekbones. And the skin right under the eyes can be quite delicate. And then when you get your fingertips out to the side of the eye the next time, we're just going to gently rub the side of the eye. Quite close to the eye on the side. There's a little stimulation point that's right there, and then you can move out a little bit toward the temple. Come out, just pressing out into the temples, the temporalis muscle, so coming a bit more into the head, above the ear. We're going to come to the side of the nose again, but now we're going to come down the side of the nose. So the fingertips are going to be the corner of the eye and stretch all the way down to the side of the lip. Come across the top of the lips, that same sort of sweeping action like we did on the eyes, but on the top of the lip. From the top of the lip, we're going to come out the bottom of the cheekbone, lifting up and out towards the ears, the side of the face. And then we're going to go across under the bottom of the lips, so fingertips meeting in the middle and then spreading out towards the side of the chin. And then open our fingertips nice and wide. Just do some big sweeping across the jaw, across the cheek. Coming from the center, middle of the jaw, coming up and out. And then we're going to squeeze along the jawline. So using the finger, the pointer finger and the thumb, we'll squeeze the skin a couple times, coming from the center of the jaw out to the side of the face. A lot of lymph connection here. Get that moving, and you always want to move from the center of your face out to the side. It's the way the fluid flows in the body. It's great for feeling puffy. And then let's just smooth it out again. And then we're going to take the backs of the hands to the jowls, underneath the chin, kind of above the throat. And we're just going to gently rub back and forth. So get some friction. Rub your head back and forth, and your hand the other direction. Really generating some heat here. Do the same thing, just switch hands so that your arms don't get tired. And let's maybe do that one more time. One more switch in the hands. And then we're going to take our fingertips and just gently pull down the side of the neck. So coming from where the glands are under your ears, sides of the chin. You don't really want to go down the front of the neck for obvious reasons. It's quite sensitive. If you do it very soft, just a gentle soft going down the front line. You can do a little harder down the sides, even down the back of the neck. Just pull it all down towards the heart. And to flush all that out. And then you can shake out your arms, shake out your hands and your wrist. And then rub our hands together again. Get some more of that heat. And just gently wash. Energetically wash over your face, wash over your eyes, wash over your head. Clearing all that out. You can sweep down the neck, down the chest, down the belly. Move your heat pad if it's there. And then let's bring one hand to the belly wherever it lands and one hand to the forehead. So cupping the forehead, cupping the belly just for a minute. Your hands be soft, your shoulders be soft. Take a few deep breaths into your face, into your brain, into your gut. Just see if you can notice that deep, intelligent connection between the nervous system, the gut, and the brain. They're talking to each other all the time. The gut to the brain more so they're finding out. The health of one often equals the health of the other. So it's good to love them up. They're not really a separate unit anyway. You can just let your arms come down to the side and just take one more minute in stillness. Again, noticing where your heels contact the floor, the backs of the knees, and whatever surface they're on. Sinking into the hips and the sacrum, the spine and the shoulders, back of the head. Just letting yourself get really heavy down into the earth. And when you feel ready, you can find whatever way works for you to come back up to seated. Thanks for coming. How do your guts feel? Great. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a sort of a recording of that I can kind of walk through a bit step by step. It's on my list of things to do that I can send out. But yeah, just see if you can remember anything that we kind of talked about. You obviously won't remember all of it. It takes time and practice, but yeah, I encourage you to just spend a few minutes every day with your bellies, the health in your belly, and it does make quite a difference in terms of cognitive function and even mood. So I like to do it kind of first thing in the morning or right before I go to bed, or some spontaneous belly massage also happens. Yeah, anyway, thank you. Oh, hold on, I'll put you back on speaker. Did that work okay for you, Joni?
Worked great.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Funny.
Awesome teacher.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, e-transfer is great. Yeah, thank you. And that link will be the same one for a while. So I'll be doing this every Wednesday at this time, unless something wild happens. I do sometimes have to cancel them if I've got a client or something, but I'm not doing that right now. So yeah, cool. Thanks for coming. It's nice to sort of see you. Yeah, and I'll let you know when I'm back in Calgary. Maybe we could hook up for a tea or something. It's weird talking. I know you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Okay, thanks. Bye.